Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen and welcome if this is your first time stopping by. So today's video is going to be my go-to quick makeup routine. This is when I need to get ready in those like 5 to 10 minutes if I have to just like run out and do errands or if I want to look put together but I don't want to spend a ton of time because I have a lot of stuff to do that day. So this is going to be pretty simple, not a ton of steps, but I can guarantee that I can usually get this done within 5 to 10 minutes. Today it might be a little bit longer depending on how much I talk if I ramble on too much, but I think that this is a really helpful routine, at least to give ideas to you guys if you're ever in a rush but you still want to look nice and put together. And a lot of the times, even when I'm wearing just this little amount of makeup, I still get tons of compliments telling me how great my makeup looks. So I think that this is a really great routine to try out if you guys are looking for something new, but I'm gonna stop talking now and rambling. But before we get started, I just really quickly want to say, please hit that subscribe button down below. I upload videos at least 1 to 2 times a week. I've been trying to keep on schedule. However, you guys know if you are longtime subscribers that some recent family situations have kind of put me behind, but I am back on track and I am so excited to bring you guys more videos. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So no matter what makeup I'm doing, if I'm doing foundation, if I'm doing just concealer, I will always wear a primer because I want to keep the oil at bay. And for that, I use the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot Face Primer. This is my go-to face primer. It never does me wrong. I don't need a ton when I'm just doing concealer, which is all I'm going to be doing today. So I just rub that between my fingers and I put that in my T-zone because that's where I get the most oily and that's where I want my concealer to stick. So this is a really good alternative to the Fenty primer. If you've heard great things about that, this is my favorite alternative to that. For concealer, I always use my go-to Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Mine's in the shade Light. Pretty soon I should be going to the light medium shade, but as of right now I'm still on light because I am not quite tan enough yet. So I always do it under my eyes because I have terrible dark under eye circles, and then I go on my nose, around my nose where there's natural redness, and anywhere I feel like there's some natural darkness. So around my mouth I always need a little bit extra coverage. Then I'll just take a beauty blender. This is, or a damp sponge or any kind of sponge that you want to use. And this is the Real Techniques. This is actually my favorite sponge to use. It's really fast. I know that a lot of people prefer the beauty blender. I have beauty blenders, but for some reason I always go back to this one. For one, they're a lot cheaper. Two, they blend so quickly for me and it doesn't take a lot of work. And also because I love the flat edge on this. Once I've put on my concealer, I still set it just like I would on every other day, and this is the Essence Brighten Up Brighten Up Powder. It's in the shade Bubba Banana. I just use my Real Techniques setting brush to set the concealer that I've placed on any of those areas on my face. Now because I still do put bronzer on my face, I like to have a smooth base to apply that, and so I do still set my face with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in Transparent. This is my all-time favorite powder. I have never used a powder that I've liked more than this, and I just do a really light layer of this on the days where I don't have foundation on because I'm obviously not setting any cream products on the rest of my face. Moving on, I use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Light Bronzer. I don't know if this is the original. I think this might be the light shade. I'm not really sure. And I just use an angled brush to just bring some definition to the face. So I don't really contour or anything. I kind of do like a bronze contour combination, and this always works for me. A little bit of shading, I just take the angle side of the brush, like the little edge, and I go around my nose just to make sure that I have some shape there. And then I always bronze down the neck. The next step is always my favorite step, and it's highlighter, especially on days where I'm not doing anything crazy makeup wise. I love using highlighter, and I just recently picked up the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in Cosmo Lighter and Space Lighter. I'm going to use Cosmo Lighter today. The Pure Nude Highlighter is my favorite go-to highlighter, the original. I wear this every day to work because it's subtle but it's really stunning. So I'm going to use the Cosmo Lighter today. It has a gold shift. I don't know if that's going to be able to pick up on the camera. Almost like a goldy green shift. So I'm going to do this on my cheeks and just blend that out into the temples. Yeah, you can see that shift. Do you see that? It's so pretty though. I love it. it's nothing like jarring, and when you look straight on you can't see it. It's only if the light hits it. And I'm going to go down my nose as well. The brush I'm using is the Morphe M501 brush. I like this one. I also have the M510, which a lot of people like, but I like the M501 much better. The next product I'm using is the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in Tipsy. I feel like I've had this blush before, or this name of a blush before. It was a go-to of mine for a while, I think. I don't know where it is. But this is, the one that I had was like shimmery, and this is a matte one. But I have been loving this blush lately. This is one of my favorite blush formulas that have ever been created. And I just use my angled blush brush, and I just apply that to the cheeks really quickly. I like bringing it in closer in. It actually makes your skin look younger, and it also makes you look more rosy. A little bit on my forehead, on my nose, and on my chin, just to round out the color. So the next thing I do is put on eyeshadow, and when I'm in a rush, if I still want to look very like put together, I'll usually take a shimmery shadow. This is a new favorite of mine. It's the Tarteist Metallic Shadow in the shade Dame. It's a pretty much rose gold color, and I just apply this with my finger. So I'll just take it on my finger and apply it across the lid. As my primer today, I did just put my concealer on my lid, but sometimes I will prime my eyelid. And then I'll take that same little amount on my finger that's left over, and I'll bring this under the eye. I always love putting shadow under my eye because it actually makes your eye appear larger. Just a little trick if you guys are not aware of that, but I love it. Then I'll just take my setting brush and just kind of brush away any fallout if there is any, which this one is a really true metallic shade, and it doesn't have a crazy amount of fallout, but it does have a little bit. And then the next thing I do are brows. Now brows are usually a really long part of my routine in the mornings, so I have found a quick way to do them. So I use this Sonia Kashuk spoolie. This is the number 127 spoolie brush. Love this. And then instead of doing the powder and the pencil, I'll just do the pencil because this is really good on its own. So I just do this really lightly. I'll give my brow the shape I like. Kind of outline that bottom area. And then I go up here. I make sure I have that little defined peak in the brow because sometimes it gets hidden depending on how I apply my product that day. And then I do these light flicks. I don't really make it super clean or perfect, especially on quick days. You just want them to frame your face. But I do give the natural shape of the brow that I like, so I make sure that I have that kind of squared off front. And I just kind of do a light fill in, but nothing crazy. I know it looks a little bit messy, so then I go through with the spoolie again, just kind of helping to distribute that product through my brow so it doesn't look chunky in any particular spot. So I'll just do that. And then I'll clean up right underneath my brow with just some powder. A lot of people like to do concealer. I honestly just don't have time for that in the mornings, and when I'm in a rush, I just want it to be as quick and easy as possible. So I'll use this little Low Cornell 1/2 inch Maxine's mop brush, and I just lightly go under the brow. Again, it might be better if you, depending on what your brow shape is or how good you are doing your brows, if you just go in with some concealer. I honestly just can cover up any mistakes with powder. This is a very light colored powder, and it helps really well with canceling out any areas that I may have like went too far down. And I think it's, you know, it's just as good, but it's quicker than doing concealer and having to blend it out. And it also helps me kind of to blend out my shadow. And it acts as a highlight. And I do still set my brows. I'm sorry if my camera just moved. It went out of battery and I had to switch that out. But so I use the Essence Make Me Brow to set my brows because I still don't want my brows like all over the place throughout the day. And I feel like this is just a really good finishing step for the brows. But as you can see, it just looks like a lot lighter application, nothing crazy heavy, and it still frames the face. I actually am really kind of preferring this, so I'm slightly weaning off using powder altogether. Then the last step, of course, or the second to last step, is mascara. I've been loving this L'Oreal Mickey Mouse Disney one. This is the Voluminous mascara. I don't know if there's a specific name. And I've just been applying this, and I just do a light layer. I want my lashes to still pop because you want it to look kind of glamorous, like you put time into it. But I try to go as fast as I can, so I do a little bit less. And honestly, on days where I'm doing really quick makeup, the last step I do is just chapstick. I don't do any crazy lip products just because sometimes it takes too long. I'm just using a Lip Smackers Disney collaboration chapstick. These smell really good, and who doesn't love lip smackers, you know what I'm saying? So that is literally all I do on days where I have to get ready really fast. Just concealer, brows, mascara, a little bit of eyeshadow. I know I'm still throwing a lot of products in, but when you really take out that foundation and you take out some of those extra steps of putting on more than one eyeshadow or really working on doing the lips or really working on the brows, it just goes so much quicker. So this is my really quick, easy makeup routine for those quick days where you want to look put together before you run out the door. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any requests for any future videos, please comment them down below. I know I've been getting a couple from you guys, which I am paying attention to, so just stay updated to my videos and make sure you hit that notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you guys will get notified and it'll show up in your subscriptions. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys!